Hello, hello, everyone. I'm Rebl Risty with Rebel Labs, and you are listening to Revolutionize Your Marketing with AI. And we're here today with Reed Hansen with Marketsurge, and he's going to share with us what he's doing for clients and some of the fun stuff he's doing with AI and what we should be also learning ourselves. So, Reed, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. It's been nice to collaborate with you, Rebel.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I would love for you maybe just give a quick background to my audience of who you are and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am an owner of a marketing agency. So we do digital marketing, marketing automation, ads, SEO, the whole stack. And we really enjoy working with service-based businesses. I've because of some contacts, we've worked with a lot of photography studios, but do work with some home services businesses as well. But yeah, really excited to be here.
Oh, great. Yeah, so maybe just a little bit home services businesses, like what types?
Yeah,
Just to,
sure. So the ones I work with typically are those with high volume outbound outreach efforts. So like think like your solar panel businesses, your pest control businesses, window washing. So a lot of those that are necessary services and often come up on a regular basis and are pretty competitive, and you need a really
yeah.
strong sales force to
Ah.
manage. So yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, how did you get into that? How did you start your agency?
Yeah, great question. So the agency actually started as a business to support photographers and help free them up so they could have full calendars, not have to worry about managing leads and bookings. And in part, it was informed by a relationship with my wife, who had a lot of insight in running her own photography studio. And I kind of speak in third person because at the time it had been started by somebody else. And
Mm.
I had another full time job. I was kind of helping with marketing, but last year we purchased the agency Marketsurge. And so I've taken it over, and I get to benefit from the existing clients and the in-house knowledge that we have in that space. And we've been able to expand and add a lot of services, including AI, as you mentioned earlier. We're doing
Yeah.
a lot of work with AI.
Awesome. That's awesome. I think a lot of times, like many agency owners were duking it out, or building it from scratch. And if I don't know if you listen to Cody Sodias,
For
she's
sure.
always about, yeah, promoting, go out and buy a business, build on someone else's shoulders. So I
Yes.
love that you did that, and you guys, kind of slowly moved into it with your wife. I don't think I could work with my husband, but
Yeah, yeah, and it sounds like we do more than we actually do. We do both work at home, but we're on different floors of the house, and yeah,
smart.
we keep it professional 9 to 5, and then
Oh,
yeah,
well,
but we
good.
we it's been good so far.
Yeah. Oh, good, good. Well, as you know, my podcast we're focusing this year heavily on AI and marketing. So I'd love for you to maybe dig a little bit further into your experience with AI, and then I think you're going to show us something fun. Uh, but tell us
Absolutely.
a little bit, like, why are you, as a marketing agency, diving into AI right now?
Yeah, well, so first of all, I will say that I have had many years in a career in a field other than marketing, and I was working in technology sales for many years, and so I've always been interested in marketing, and and in the last 10 years of my career, so I've worked at marketing agencies, and I did have an MBA, but it was not firsthand experience until I got to the marketing agencies. And as I saw the way my wife was uh, stumbling through, trying like trial and error, trying to figure out how to market her own photo studio, I thought it was really interesting. And now, what really accelerated my learning was getting access to some of these AI tools like ChatGPT, which I found that the format of it is that you ask it questions and it'll give you an answer. And for instance, a marketing problem, and but then you can take it the next step is, well, how do I do that? And you can continue that, and it gets deeper and deeper. And basically, it is really, I like I would say, it just really accelerated my learning. Now, the really exciting part was that I could take it all the way to coding and coding apps to do that. Now, I've been selling software for a long time, and I was always like in awe of what developers could do and build, and recognized that that was a very tough skill set to obtain. I dabbled in trying to learn code at times, and I would get the basics, but there's just so much to learn, and there's such a long tail of like, well, what's the best development environment, and how do you do the server side, and and it just seemed like it was just infinite. Well, what really got me excited was when I learned that AI, like ChatGPT and others, could start generating code and showing me
Yeah.
how to implement it. So
Yeah.
that to me, it changed the game because I felt like I've had ideas I've wanted to execute, but I didn't have like $100,000 to build an enterprise app. But now I can kind of dabble in it and
I
take it much further.
I know, isn't it amazing? It
Yeah.
takes like absolutely no experience, no code, don't have any understanding of it to feeling like I have a superpower because I can now, you're right, come up with tools and different things that I would never have been able to do nor afford even
Yeah.
to
Right.
pay someone
Right.
else to do.
Absolutely.
So I
Absolutely.
love it. I love it. Well, tell us a little bit more then about what tools you're using for coding.
Yeah. So I first, my first foray into it was I was trying to create a blog and I wanted to embed something. First, I wanted to embed a YouTube video, and I embedded the link, but it didn't look quite right. I wanted to size it slightly different, and so I asked ChatGPT how to do it. And it said, okay, just embed this code. And I'm like, oh, I can embed code in a blog. And I asked it, how do you do that? And you see, like, there's this repeatable pattern basically where you ask ChatGPT, and it'll give you like broadly what you need to do, and then the follow-up questions is where the magic happens. And
Yeah.
it showed me that I could generate the whole blog in HTML format and embed it as an HTML object. Now, when you do that, you can embed animations, you can embed tables, and so it really improves. I mean, Rebel, you're in content. I'm sorry, I'm not. I hope I'm not saying.
No, no, and this is for our audience.
Yeah,
We've got
yeah.
small business owners, entrepreneurs, marketers, and the one thing I've learned, it's evolving so quickly, we can't possibly know everything. So I'm very interested in this.
And so it's almost like if you can think what it could look like on a blog page, you can instruct the chat GPT to generate it in code. And one time I wanted to create a calculator, like calculate the ROI of ad spend, for instance. Like, what's the typical ROI for this situation if you spend $1,000 on ads? What kind of ROI should you expect? And then there are a few variables I put in, and then, I said, well, what do I do with this? And it gave me step-by-step instructions. There's typically an object in some of these advanced blog platforms that it's an open field. You copy it from ChatGPT and you paste it in, and you had this calculator, and it, between the JavaScript, CSS, and HTML, it spat out a result. And so you could see, well, if I spend $1,000 doing this in ads, then I should see a return of 120%, something like that. And
Right.
it so that's a very basic example, is creating a calculator. But that got me started, and I started having more questions about what I could do. And what's funny about the internet, and it's the nature of retargeting, is when you start typing in and doing these searches, all of a sudden ads start appearing
Yep.
for useful tools that can take you further. And I started getting served up ads for these AI code generating engines. And that took me next to Cursor. So Cursor is
Okay.
probably the most famous of the AI code generating tools. But there are probably a dozen to 20 others that I've come across that are similar, do different things. there's one that's based in GitHub. There's one that's based on Amazon Web Services. Grok, the X platform, has something, and there was another that just got acquired recently. But so just saying, there's so many. But Cursor is the one I've gotten comfortable on,
Okay.
and so stop me if I'm rambling.
No,
But
no, I'm not. I haven't had much experience with Cursor. I have to admit, I haven't done a ton. The most I've been doing with no code is Claude artifacts.
yeah.
And so, same, we've been creating some tools, lead magnets, calculators, things like that. Um, so, I am interested in Cursor. Is it similar? The one that I keep hearing about is Lovable.
Oh
Is
yeah,
that
that's
okay?
right. That's another very famous one, um, and I think I'd say my experience is limited to ChatGPT, Cursor, the so what Gemini can generate as well, and
Right.
Grok.
Okay.
The and if you'd like, I'd be happy to show you how Cursor looks.
Yes. Oh my God, that would be wonderful. We would love that.
Let me do
Um,
yeah.
so the share button's right there to the left of the little leave button.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, okay, this looks just like Google Meet sharing. All right.
Yeah, very similar. And I think
Okay,
you'll probably want to
perfect.
share your entire screen. Yep, yep, there
Okay.
we go.
So you can see this. Now,
Yes, yes.
now I've got a project open here, and now I'll tell you the concept of the project. This is a fantasy football app that I dreamed up. Fantasy football's been around for a long time, but and actually it's asking me to install an update. So hold on just a second. It'll probably crash if I don't update it.
No, all right.
The But I'll explain the concept as it's loading. The fantasy football is largely planning throughout the week. You kind of pick the players you think will have the highest stats on game day. But what happens when game day comes? You just sit and wait. Now, my idea for the app was an in-game predictor. So based on the conditions of the game, what might happen next play, or what might happen you can I guess my idea is really you take it play by play. Is it run, pass, or other? And based on you can get bonuses for streaks. You can get information about tendencies. You can get special incentives to pick like an unexpected play. So it's just a little something to do with your thumbs while you're watching the game. And
Huh.
so it's I think it would be fun. I'm going to share again. It looks like it uploaded.
Um, yeah, I have to admit, I haven't really played fantasy football. My husband does that, but that's interesting. So it's very interactive, and and this is something that would just live on your phone. Like you could just
Yeah, so
okay.
I've been primarily focused on the desktop app just as a proof of concept. So I just want to make sure it all works. Now, I've been working on this for several weeks, and there are so many details to figure out. But for one, I just want to illustrate how it exists as a kind of a chat interface. So
Okay.
I can at any time I can read any of these files, these development files, and a good best practice is to always have a README file, and you can instruct it to update the README file whenever you make a change. So,
Okay.
but
And just to explain, what
yeah.
is the README file? What
So
does that do for
it's
you?
a text file that basically sums up everything that is going on in the app. And so
Okay.
like where things are stored, file names, passwords. Well, passwords are typically saved in a separate file, but it tells where the passwords are stored. So this app, in order to work on anywhere but just my computer, I have to host it somewhere remotely. And so I'm using Amazon Cloud Services to do that.
Okay.
So let me just check in. Let's see. So how is this build going? So really just like I'm talking to the developer. And so it'll think for a second. It will read everything that is in the file. I'll help you check. So first it checks the README, and
Okay.
so you can see everything that's happening. There's a certain okay, and then it asks me to. So we're going to check the GitHub log, which is the actual code base.
Okay.
We'll just run it, and so it's got a record of all my previous chats, all the things that need to be fixed. So and a lot of what happens here is I'm just clicking approve, approve, approve. So it's excellent progress. So it shows where everything is saved, all the APIs that I'm pulling from, the next things I need to do. So I've built a functional MVP. I've deployed to Amazon Web Services. I fixed major data quality issues. It's now live. Now you can commit your current choice. So let's see. Let's go ahead and commit the current changes, please. I like to say please because someday they'll
So I
remember.
heard that us saying please and thank you is costing millions of dollars because
Right?
it's that little bit it has to.
I have heard this too. I'm trying to balance everything against the potential of AI being our boss
Right.
someday. So
Yes. So remember when I asked nicely?
that's right. That's right. Exactly.
I do.
So
I'm with you. I feel like it will remember.
so basically, you give it instructions, and then it tells you what it needs to do, and then it does it. And there's in the background, leading up to this, I've had to set up an account on GitHub to store the code. I've had to set up an account on Amazon Web Services to save the cloud. I've had to ask ChatGPT to outline and architect the app, and to I've referred it to URLs to show it things that it should look like. And let me see if I can get this to turn on. Hold on, test.
Right.
Where can I test this build? And more than likely okay, so here we go. Here's my URL. So it's a CloudFront. Okay, hold on just a second. Still giving me instructions.
So you're using Cursor. This is Cursor that you're
This
building
is
it on.
Cursor. Uh-huh.
And CloudFront is where you're actually storing
Correct. Uh-huh.
the, or it's being hosted on.
Right. And
Got it.
if the build doesn't work, then okay.
We're gonna cut you off. No, just just kidding.
Well, okay, here we go. Well, so it has some mock data in here that I can show you. So I'm going to switch my screen. Let's see, stop, and then we'll share. Sorry, I need to get this. Okay, so it loads up data from
Oh
the mock
boy.
API, and so I can
Okay.
drill into these games. And so let's see if it will let me. Okay, well, there's one part of it that hasn't turned on yet, but I can fetch the current games and pull this. Sorry, it's hard to do this in real time, and
No
the
worries.
process of developing an app is actually a lot of stop and start. I'll show you
Yes.
one that is production ready if you'd like,
Yeah, that'd be great.
and it's much simpler app. This was to solve a business problem. I work with a lot of large files. I'm downloading lead lists from a system that I have, and they have in this case this one file I just downloaded has 40,000 lines on it, and that is really it takes a long time to even open a file that large, and I understand that if I had real data analytics skills that I could go into the command screen and use Python to filter out the data that I don't need. But what I asked Cursor to help me build was this file filter. And now these huge files, oh, sorry, I was clicking on the presentation. So I'm going to upload this file that has 40,000 lines. So it's going to read it here, and it will ask for the columns to filter. And so it's 40,000 lines, but they're not all complete rows. Basically, I only want the rows that have very accurate emails and business phone numbers. And so
Okay.
when this loads, it will give me those options. And I think I can, yeah, I just need just a moment. Large file, so it's reading everything.
Got it.
But if I were to just try to open it, try to filter it,
Yeah, it would.
the file just crashes over and over again.
Got it. Yeah.
But and really, this is the best kind of app to build. It's better than my fantasy football app because this solves a real business problem, and it is something that we use every day. I got to host it on my company's domain, and it just works very reliably. And if this one is too big, too slow, I will switch to a smaller file. But looks like it's ready. Okay, so I'm going to
Okay.
pick these deep verified emails and the business. Let's see, I want the business phone number, direct number. That's the file.
Okay.
That's the field. Okay, so I'll process the file, and and then it will download as a filtered file, which will be much smaller, and I'll be able to open it and manipulate it from directly. I have a Mac, so I'm using the Numbers app, but yeah,
That's
it's
great.
super cool. And I just made it a clean interface because I'm not selling this, but
Right, you just wanted to be able to use it. I love that, I think that's where all of us need to dream and live bigger, right? Like all these things that you just get stuck on, or you say to yourself, God, there's got to be a better way.
right, exactly. And that's, I think that it is the impetus for, what your business should be. It's like, what's a real problem that like really affects me emotionally, that really just like bothers me. And that will give you like enough impetus to actually finish the app. When you're doing something for fun or a hobby, that it's very different. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is great. Obviously, that's a very big file.
yeah, I know. Of course, I picked one that I should have gone with a 10,000. Okay, so let's see if I can open it directly from the browser here, and then just a moment. Still pretty big, but at least it's usable. Um, I'll stop sharing.
And you said you and your team use that um,
Yeah, we
often,
use it
like as
every
a,
day.
okay.
We were so running these leads lists for our clients, and basically just spending like an hour on each file trying to get it to open, and that was just just not going to work.
Yeah.
So
And you built it on Cursor as well?
I did, and it's hosted on
Interesting.
Amazon Web Services,
Okay.
and I created a subdomain. It's publicly accessible. It Yeah, I'm able to share it with others on the team to use it.
Now, is your team also using Cursor or other tools like that to build and
They, I've extended the invite. They haven't been quite as interested as I have been, but yeah, just for example, I'll just share the file real quick so you can see what it looks like opened.
that's interesting. We find that's kind of the same. Um,
So yeah,
you should not assume just because someone's young that they're interested in technology or any of this AI stuff. So,
right. And so it went from 40,000 to down to about just under 12,000,
oh,
which is
wow.
much easier to use.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just like the work product that Cursor can help deliver. So the process really is, and by the way, Cursor is not expensive. It's a $20 a month license.
Crazy.
Most of the other tools I referenced are free. Paying very little for Amazon Web Services. I get charged. So for instance, there's a little charge to process that data. And if I were to do any other like API consumption, but for the level that I'm using it at internally, we're only talking like $20 a month, and so
Yeah.
this is the real playground. Like you can really do this. I would encourage people to try it themselves.
Yeah. No, I love it. And I think you think about, as an agency owner, we charge by the hour, right? We have hourly rate, everyone on the team, billable hours. So the fact that like you could cut that down to what was that, a couple minutes?
Right, right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
right
you,
there
so
is
you were able to
is
get like 12,000 contacts pulled out of the system and filtered, um, in just like 5 to 10 minutes. So that
amazing.
was really helpful to us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Reed. I love it when we can actually see stuff in action. And so you'll have to let us know when your fantasy football
I will.
app comes out. I know a few people that'll want to play with it.
Great.
And yeah, it's really awesome. I always appreciate it when a fellow marketer is willing to kind of show us what you're doing.
For
Because
sure.
at the end of the day, that's the only way we all get better.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for letting me show off. It's kind of nerdy, and I hope it wasn't bad
No.
podcasting, but it was. This has been something I've really had fun with, and I think
Oh,
the most exciting thing too is I think that it's not. It democratizes technology. It makes it available for anybody with an idea and a little time, and not just people that have years and years and years of training. So, I mean, that training is very valuable, and there's still a place for it. But it's nice for us to get to try a little bit.
yeah. And maybe just for a little bit of a like reality check, how long did it take you to learn to get to that point where you're, actually have a viable outcome where you could use it like your document? Um,
Yeah, well, I built that in 4 hours. So that app, yeah. So and it was from when I downloaded the well, like I said, so the calculator was on ChatGPT, but then this, yeah, 4 hours start to finish, and was hosted, and and I'll tell you, I have tried to do a similar exercise, and the cursor continues to get better. So I think if I were to start over today, I could do it faster. It
right.
gives you instructions, it tells you what's missing, asks you for input, and it is it thinks through the errors and better ways to do it. So it's really like your partner in trying to get this accomplished.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Reed. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it. If somebody did want to get a hold of you, wanted to talk to you about Cursor, what's the best way
Yeah.
for them to do that?
Absolutely. So my website is marketsurge.io, and I can be reached directly at reed at marketsurge.io. And I'd love to connect with anybody. I nerd out, or if you need assistance, I'd be more than happy to help.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Reed. And for any of you out there, if you're ready to revolutionize your marketing with AI and learn more, as well as implement more, reach out to Rebel. We have amazing partners like Reed, and we're happy to sit down and give you some time and help you think through like what really is possible. All right. Well, till next time, stay at it, everyone.